Hello, fine folks at Las Cruces. This is Tom, the trainer. Hey, I want to apologize. I didn't do a good enough job in explaining the VLOOKUP function the other day when I was at your site. So I'm putting this video together for all of you to watch so that you can have a very thorough understanding of how the VLOOKUP function works in Excel. Now, there is also an HLOOKUP function, which means horizontal lookup, but we're not going to do that. The only difference is that HLOOKUP means that you're looking up data going across horizontally. This is going to be used for the VLOOKUP function because we're going to look up the information in this table up and down vertically. So that's really the only difference. So let's get started. By the way, the reference in your book on page 24 is similar to what I'm showing here. I added actually a little extra than what you see on page 24, and I will discuss that. So what is the purpose of the VLOOKUP function? Well, you can see that I have some records here of some sales reps, and you can see that they have sales, and they have quota, and you will also see that they have a 10% commission rate. And in this table underneath the data, called the bonus table, you'll notice the first column is the quota level, and it is sorted in ascending order, and that is very important. Then I have these two bonus columns. Now I only have one bonus column here, but I will add the second one in this video as an example. So what we're looking at here is we need to know what kind of regular bonus they're going to get based on what their quota is, and that will determine what their regular bonus is going to be. So how do I use this VLOOKUP function? That's what the whole purpose of this video is for. And as you can see here, there is a total pay, which each sales rep will get, which is the commission plus the bonus. All right, let's get started. You'll see I have over here this little explanation, if you will, on how easy it is to understand the functionality of the VLOOKUP function. I really like the way this is done. For example, what, where, which. What are we going to look up? Well, for this first person here, we're going to look up Jim's quota. Then it says, where are we going to look that up? And the answer is in this bonus table. And then lastly, it says, which column number in the table do we want to return the data from? Well, this is the regular bonus column, so we're going to grab it from the third column. Notice I didn't say from column E, because what if this bonus table gets moved somewhere else? Well, if that's the case, it's no longer going to be in column C, D, and E, which would mess up the function. But it's still always going to be the third column. So that's why we refer to the column number. One of the ways I'm going to enter the function is by using the function dialog box. And there's a great feature here of functions that you've used frequently called the recently used button. I'm on the formulas tab, by the way. And when I click it, if I see the VLOOKUP function, I can just choose it from here, but I don't. But I do know that there's a category called lookup and reference. What if it's under that one? Yeah, it is. They are in alphabetical order, so I go towards the bottom, and there it is, the VLOOKUP function. And it even tells me what exactly the function will do when I hover my mouse over the actual function. It says, looks for a value in the leftmost column of a table, and then returns a value in the same row from a column that we specify. And by default, the table must be sorted in ascending order. That is very important. And you will see that this table here is sorted in the first column in ascending order. So I click on the function. Up comes the function arguments dialog box. And the first argument is called the lookup value. Remember we said, what are you looking up? So I can either type the cell address or I can click on it with my mouse. I'm going to click on this address, E10. And there you go. I got my first argument. The second argument is the table array. Now I named this table right here. I called it bonus table. So I'm going to start typing in the word bonus underscore table. Oh, there it is. By the way, we cannot have spaces in our range names. So that's why I have an underscore character. And then after I'm done, I'll prove it to you that the bonus table is highlighting the correct data. Now, the third argument is the column index number. And earlier I mentioned that we need to refer to the columns in the table. So for me to get the regular bonus, that would be column 3. 1, 2, 3. So I type a 3. Now, I'm not going to talk about the fourth argument right now, so I'm going to click OK to get my answer. Voila, $50. Now, is that correct? Well, let's find out. Jim's quota is 3,000. So it looks for the first record, sees 2,000, jumps to the next one, and sees if it equals 3,000, which it does. So what it does is it pulls the value in the third column on that row and puts it in the cell where I want my answer, $50. It worked. It's beautiful. Now I can just cheat a little bit and use my autofill for the remaining 2. So let's see if this worked for Mark Sanders. The answer, it says here, is 125. Mark's quota is 6,000. There it is. 6,000. It pulls the 125. Now let's go to Carmen. Carmen's quota is 2,000, and therefore it brings a regular bonus of $25. So it worked. This is great. Now, I just changed the quota for Jim to $4,500, and the answer is different. It's now $75. Well, let's see why it's $75. So it looks for the quota at 4,500, looks for that value in column 1, and it does not find $4,500. So what it actually does is it goes to the next one, which is $5,000, which is greater than 4,500, and then it takes the regular bonus from the previous row, which is $75. So 4,500 is higher than 4,000, but less than 5,000. So it pulls the one from the 4,000, and that's why the answer for the regular bonus is $75. Okay, now I'm going to talk about having the management bonus. And it's just to reiterate what we learned about the regular VLOOKUP function. Now, let's see why Jim has a $300 management bonus. Well, what we need to do is look up in the table the second column. As you can see right here, there's a 2. 1, 2. So it pulls in his bonus, his quota is 4,500. So it looks and sees the 5,000, goes backwards 1 row, and that's why it's 300. Let's do the next one. Mark has a quota of 6,000. There it is, 6,000, and that's why his management bonus is 500. And last but not least, Carmen has a quota of 2,000, and it will pull in $100 for the management bonus based on this table, and there it is, $100. And yes, I also was going to mention to you why did it work when I used this bonus table range name. That's because over here I defined a range name and I called it bonus table. You will see that the table consists of the headers, which is very important, as well as the records underneath it. All right, so hopefully this helps. Remember, if you need to contact me and ask any questions in Excel, I'm only an email away. And there you have it. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.